Hello, it's me here with another video. Today I'm going to be telling you, reviewing, etc. About my experience of going to see Oasis 3 times on their Live 25 tour. First night in Cardiff, which I have actually already done a video about. I'll try not to talk too much about Cardiff and repeat myself, but we'll see. I've also done London and Edinburgh, so we'll talk about the three of them in this video. Hopefully this won't be too long a video. But it probably end up being like 40 minutes, so I'll apologise in advance. If you want to know more about my gigging life, I don't really talk about gigs much on YouTube anymore like I used to back in the day, but follow my gig blog on Instagram, Tales from the Middle of Nowhere. There's a link down below. Virtual Cookie, if you know where that name's coming from, because you're obviously a true Oasis fan if you know where that's from. Anyway, let's get into the story of my experience of the Oasis Live 25 tour. So at the time we're recording this video, it's August 19th. So if you went back to August 19th, 2024 and told me that by a year later I'd have seen Oasis 3 times, I wouldn't have believed you. So it's been a funny old year, hasn't it? So let's go back to Wythenshawe Park, August Bank Holiday 2024, which I can't remember the exact date. But I was seeing Blossoms there, and there'd been talk in the press about Oasis getting back together, but this had, this wasn't new news. This had gone on for years and years, and I got to the point where I just ignored it. I didn't believe it anymore. But then suddenly at the end of the gig that Blossoms were doing there, on the screen came that teaser video, and shell shock, it like a nuclear bomb had just gone off. That was on the Sunday night, and then it was on the Tuesday we found out about the reunion. And yeah, then it became the longest wait ever, waiting for whenever the tickets went on sale, the Saturday, with the pre-sale, which we all signed up for the Friday. And surprise, surprise, I didn't get in the pre-sale, nor did anyone else, except my brother. My brother, the jammy git he is, got himself in it. I don't exactly know how he got in it. I believe he was in the Oasis, My Oasis fan club or whatever it was called, before this all kicked off. Do you remember when the Definitely Maybe 30th anniversary thing was coming along, and they kept saying, join the My Oasis fan page and you can see the lyric video for Up in the Sky 24 hours early? And I was like, I'm not that bothered. My brother obviously was, because he went and joined it, and he also submitted a video question to know for the Q&A thing about Definitely Maybe that he did. His question didn't get used, but he thinks that's probably why he got in the pre-sale. But regardless of the reason, I'm pleased he did, because it's thanks to that pre-sale that on the Friday night we got tickets. The plan was to go for Wembley on the 2nd of August, which is what we did. We got them no bother, and then while we were there, we thought, should we have a look? Should we take a little look? See if we can get anything else? And lo and behold, Edinburgh. We got Edinburgh as well. Could only get 2, however. I got Oasis tickets! Ooh! But that was it. Retrospectively looking back, I should have gone for Cardiff at that point, and also Manchester, and probably multiple nights in each city. But they were also 150 quid. Anyway, so that was the Friday, we were sorted, and then on the Saturday all hell broke loose when the general sale happened. But I kind of got to sit back and just have a nice chilled out day, that. As anyone in the pre-sale will probably tell you, it was probably some of the easiest gig tickets to get in that pre-sale, but the general sale, Jesus Christ, I'm pleased I avoided that.
That could have happened to us.
It could have done, but it didn't.
So that was it. We got the tickets, and then it was a waiting game. So fast forward to May 25 now, 2025, I can't remember the exact date, but I was out, and my brother messaged us to say, Cardiff tickets, I can get tickets for the first night. I have been looking again and again, because I thought it's the first night, I've kind of got to be there. But the reason why I hadn't bought them, and I'd seen a few come up, was I didn't want to pay like 550 quid.
Hey? 50? I misread that at first. 15,000?
Yeah, and?
£915 and 59 pence.
Yes.
I thought my max will go for is 300 quid. That was the most I was willing to spend, and James managed to find the tickets for 300 quid in decent seats as well, so I was like, get them, just get them. So we ended up at Cardiff as well, and I did keep checking for Manchester as well, but I couldn't get Manchester for a decent price. So if I wanted to pay like 550 quid, I would have done, but I wasn't. The reason why I didn't do Manchester, by the way, was it was Heaton Park. If it had been at the Etihad, I'd have 100% have been at Manchester. It'd have been the first one I'd have gone for before Wembley or anything else, but because it was Heaton Park, I just thought, nah, I don't want to see him in an outdoor park. I'd rather see him in somewhat of an indoor venue with like walls for the acoustics to bounce off and stuff like that. Plus Heaton Park's on the outskirts of Manchester, so it'd be a pain in the arse afterwards to get back. Anyway, so that's how we got to the stage of having 3 tickets for 3 nights. So now let's get into the story of each of these nights. So then, July 4th, 2025, Cardiff, night 1. This was the big one, really. I've done a video about this one, as I mentioned, so I'll try not to talk too much about Cardiff. If you want to hear more about it, go and watch that video. I'll try and remember to link it down below. But yeah, we made our way down to Cardiff. It's not nearby Cardiff. It's a good 5.5, 6 hour drive from here. So we got down there. We set off from here about 10 o'clock. We didn't get to Cardiff till about 5. We missed Cast as well, but we did get in time for Ashcroft. But before I went to see Ashcroft, I bought some merch. I bought a t-shirt for 40 quid, and I bought the programme. If you want to see the t-shirt and the programme, go and watch my Cardiff video, because I forgot to bring it in this room with us. It's in the other room. But you can see them in that video, and I'll show you more in depth what's in them. So yeah, that was a good bit of money spent on merch. That was 40 quid on a t-shirt, and it was £20 for a programme, I think. So that's 60 quid blown. Plus, I also got the poster for Cardiff that night. I'll try and remember to show it on the screen. I got one for each night. Also 40 quid. I know it's a rip-off for a poster, but it's Oasis on the first night of their tour. I had to get it. Anyway, so we took our seats, decent seats. There'll be a picture on your screen now, as you can probably see. The view was very good. Wasn't restricted or anything like that. Ashcroft came on, did his thing. Brilliant. Bittersweet Symphony, national anthem. You know the score by now. And then it was the half-hour wait for Oasis to come on, and the music in between was pretty cool. Then Tomorrow Never Knows came on. That was the sort of last song before they came on in Cardiff. It seemed to be a different song at each night, each city. And because of where we were sat, we could see Oasis where they actually came into the stadium before going onto the stage. So we were amongst the first group of people, because of where we were sat, to actually see Noel and Liam together in public for the first time in 16 years, which I didn't actually mention that in the Cardiff video, which is pretty cool when you think about it. Anyway, they walked on stage. This is not a drill, fucking in the bushes. Then they walk on stage. You've seen that famous picture of them into Hello, Acquiesce, Morning Glory, some might say. I mean, them songs back to back is just like hit. Energy, passion. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. Then they completely ruined the flow, the passion, by playing Bring It On Down, where I noticed at Cardiff and other nights, it was when people started leaving to go to the toilet. Just killed the momentum, that song. In my opinion, Lila should be in this place, and then it should go, some might say, into Lila, then into Cigarettes and Alcohol. Cigarettes and Alcohol was an interesting one at Cardiff, because it was the first night, obviously, and Liam, the way he made it sound like, do you know that famous performance of Turn Up the Sun from the Etihad back in 2005, where the barriers broke and they told people to step back? At first, it sounded like something similar to that had happened, until he told us to turn round and put our arms around each other. So we were in the first Poznan of the tour. But yeah, it was a great gig, Cardiff. It was a special one. As I've mentioned previously, the world's media was outside. It was bizarre, a really bizarre gig, but it was a really special gig. Of all the ones to be out on the tour, I think this was definitely the most special one. And I said in my Cardiff video that I didn't imagine any of the other ones would top it. But did they? Well, let's find out, because that was Cardiff done and dusted. If you want to hear more about it, go and watch the Cardiff video. So after that, it was pretty much a month wait till August 2nd of 2025 for night 2. Well, not night 2 for us. I think it was night 11 overall on the tour, and night 4 of Wembley. We went down to London on the Friday, and on the Friday we actually went to the merch stand, because it was a non-gig day, which would make life easier. So we got our London poster. This football Adidas top thing is from the London gig, if I remember. I'll show you the back, or I'll show you a picture. Actually, I've got pictures of it from behind where it's got London written on it. So that was Friday, and then on the Saturday, the day of the gig, went around London seeing the sights, wearing this top, Battersea Power Station. If you've never been to Battersea, get yourself to Battersea. It's by far the coolest building in London. I love Battersea. We went to Camden as well, but don't go to Camden Market on a Saturday. It's absolute hell. You can't move. It's just full of people, and go through the week. It's nice through the week. It's not as busy. Anyway, we eventually made our way to Wembley, and being on that tube train was pretty special, being on a packed train full of Oasis fans, just all ready for it. Anyway, went into Wembley. It was pretty well organised, to be honest. Took our seats. Wembley, we were further back than we were at Cardiff. Still decent seats. I was a bit worried there'd be a restricted view because of where we were sat, but no, the view was perfectly fine. We did see Cast this time as well. Now, I've got to be honest, I'm not really massively fussed about Cast. I'd seen them. Had I seen them before? Actually, I can't remember if I had seen Cast before this, but I just feel like if Cast hadn't been part of this tour, it wouldn't have really made that big a difference. I'd rather Cast not taken part and we'd have a longer Ashcroft set, or, I don't know, a newer band be in the support slot for the opening support slot, if that makes sense. Anyway, Bittersweet Symphony from Ashcroft in the National Stadium was certainly something very special. I've got to say, I mean, I go to a lot of gigs. It's not often you see the place packed for the support. I mean, I don't think there was virtually any empty seats, and the standing bit looked also pretty full for Wembley by the time Ashcroft was on. I mean, that's good going. Anyway, once again, it was the half-hour wait in between. I think it was Rockin' in the Free World this time rather than Tomorrow Never Knows, which was the sort of pre-Oasis song. Then, once again, This Is Not a Drill, Fucking in the Bushes, then On the Stage They Came. Now, I genuinely, after Cardiff, didn't think I would be saying this, but Wembley absolutely blew Cardiff out of the water. That crowd is the best crowd I have ever been in at a gig. Yeah, this was just a real special gig. And from what I've seen online so far, I think the Wembley crowds have by far been the best of the lot. Just watching them videos of the Poznan, I can watch it all day. I just keep watching them on repeat from Wembley. Manchester was pretty good as well. We'll come on to Edinburgh. Dublin's also looked pretty good. We've not gone abroad yet, although I can't imagine ones in the United States of America land being as good as these. But I wasn't expecting Wembley to have the best crowds. I thought Manchester would probably have the best crowds of the tour in the UK. But no, it was Wembley from my experience of looking online. Anyway, obviously I wasn't at Manchester, so I can't properly comment on what it was like. But anyway, it was a good set, same set obviously, but they were still performing really well. Liam's voice is also still holding out pretty well by this point. I thought maybe by this point it would be starting to deteriorate a little bit, but it hasn't at all. It's still going strong as we speak, it would appear. Noel's set was good. It was just a real special gig, Wembley, in the National Stadium. Like I say, it was just 90,000 people in there singing Oasis songs. It doesn't get better than that. I had the time of my life in there. Tragically, this, of course, was also the gig where the fella fell over the balcony and fell to his death, unfortunately, at the end of it. I believe it happened in Block 211. We were in Block 108, so it must have kind of been just above us at the end. But at the end, we decided we'd sit back and let it empty a bit. That's a mistake. Don't do that at Wembley if you ever gone to a gig there. But yeah, we decided to sit back and wait. But we didn't see any of this commotion going on or had any idea of it happening at all until the next day when it was in the news. But it must have been going on above us. So yeah, we waited at the end. We got talking to some lads. Christ, what were they called? I want to say Sam and Thomas. They might be in their names, but I can't remember. And then we made our way back to central London. If you've ever been to a gig after Wembley, after a gig, imagine it's the same at a football match. It's not great getting back to Wembley Park tube station. I mean, it took us... The gig ended at quarter past 10. We got back to Hammersmith. I think it was about 12:30, quarter to 1. And it's only a 7-mile distance. Retrospectively, we probably could have walked it in this time, but there's just no organisation getting in the tube at Wembley Park. A little tip for you, go at the back of the train. No one seemed to go at the back of the train. They all seem to pile for the middle and the front. So go at the back. It means walking along the platform, which no one seems to want to do. Anyway, yes, great gig. I didn't say Cardiff night one. I didn't say it in the last video because it hadn't happened by that point. But Slide Away from that night has been released, which is cool. And now also Little by Little from night 4 of Wembley has also been released. So 2 of the 3 gigs that I've been to so far, I've had songs released from them. The Cardiff song and the London song have been from both the gigs I've been at. So fingers crossed the Edinburgh one. We haven't had the Edinburgh song yet, but fingers crossed it will be from night 3. Speaking of Edinburgh, let's move on to that one now. So Edinburgh, Tuesday night. This is technically the last night of the UK tour, although they are coming back to Wembley in September, but they're kind of weird gigs, them ones. To me, they're not kind of like part of the main tour, if that makes sense. To me, this felt like the last proper night of the UK tour before it went overseas. Which kind of means I was at the first night and the last proper night. Apologies if you go into Wembley at the end of the month. I'm sure you'll have a brilliant time, but summer's over by that point. Anyway, yes, Edinburgh, red hot. Never known Edinburgh like this, the heat. So we went up on the Tuesday. It's about a 2-hour drive from here, so not as bad as Cardiff. We got there and we went to the merch stand first. 27 degrees in Edinburgh. Never known the heat like this in Edinburgh. Whenever I go to Edinburgh, it's normally pissing down, and about 3 degrees. So yeah, never known it like this. Anyway, went to the merch stand, and to our surprise on the gig day, there was nobody there. Well, there was a couple of people, but there wasn't a massive queue. So we're like, oh, here we go, let's get in this queue. Let's get to this stand. But before we could get there, some people from the Daily Record, the Scottish national paper, decided to interview us. So we were like, yeah, go on, why not? So talking away, what's it like, blah, 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 what you're looking forward to. And I sort of had to let slip. This is the third one we've been to, because the way they were talking to us, it was like what you expecting. Like, it was the first time we hadn't done it already.
Well, we're one of the lucky ones. It's the third one we've been to.
And so we were talking to them, and you can, if I remember, I'll link the article below, although they've spelt my name wrong and completely made it. In fact, I won't link it below because they've completely made up what I've said as well. They claim I said Edinburgh was sweltering, but I've never used the word sweltering in my life. It's not like the press to make stuff up, is it? Anyway, what was I saying? So at one point, they didn't use this bit, but when I'd mentioned we'd been to Cardiff and London, they said, so do you think Edinburgh will top those gigs? And I gave a very politician answer, because the short answer is no, it will not, because Wembley was just incredible and Cardiff will always be special. Even though I thought I enjoyed Wembley more and I thought it was a better gig, Cardiff is the most special one. It's probably the most special gig I've ever been to, and if I could have only gone to one thing on this tour, it would have been Cardiff. Got to sneeze any second now. I'm a professional at this. Go on, Ollie, sneeze.
A few moments later.
Right, that's out. What was I saying? Anyway, as we were talking to these fellas from the press, and a lady was also filming us, we could see more and more people getting in that queue for the merch. We're like, can you hurry up here, please? I want to get my poster and stuff. Anyway, they eventually did leave us alone so we could go and get our posters. And because we were standing at this one, I thought, I don't really want to be standing at an Oasis gig with a 40 quid poster. The London one was also 40 quid, so there you go. 120 quid on posters, 40 quid on a t-shirt, 85 quid on the... Basically, Noel and Liam are probably very rich, largely thanks to me this year.
Are these full of money? Wow!
Look at that! $15 million.
I love the smell of money in the morning.
So we decided anyway we'd use this thing that they're offering on this tour, which is this in-post service, which on paper is a brilliant idea, where for free as well, I might add, you can send your merch home to your house or to your nearest in-post pickup location, which for me is only around the corner, so that was cool. So we did that and off we went. Now, I'd love to come on here and recommend to use this service if it happens to come to other gigs, but don't, seriously, because if you're buying a t-shirt, it's fine, but if you're like me and you bought a poster, you'd think they'd put them in, do you know, like when you buy a poster and they have them in them little round, tube things. I thought they were going to put it in that, but they just put it in a normal box. So when it got to me eventually, the box was smashed to pieces and the poster was damaged, and it's not like the biggest damage in the world, it's just got crease marks in it and stuff. But it's like, I've spent 40 quid for this poster, I expect it really to be in pristine condition. It's my own fault, I should have walked back to my car rather than give it to them, because I don't know if everybody's involved in in-post, and if they are, then so yeah, that was a bit of a shame. But anyway, enough about that. So after we'd done that, we went and we sat in the little park bit outside Murrayfield. I couldn't drink because it's Scotland, so you can't even have one drink. It's a civilised country, obviously. I love you really, Scotland. I am 76% Scottish. I did a DNA test in COVID, so there's a little fact for you. Anyway, yes, my brother could sit and drink in the park though, like some underage hooligans. So we did that, and then in we went. Oh, I also had a little catch up with Ross Goodall. Hello, Ross, if you're watching. In the park before the gig. Ross was also at the gig. He was sat up in the stands somewhere. I think he was further towards the back. But he looked like, from what I've seen online, he had decent seats. You could still see all right. What else happened? We went in about 5 o'clock. Oh, in the queue, I got recognised by someone who follows me on Instagram. There's a 1 in 70,000 people chance of that. So yeah, we got in. Once again, like I say, we're standing this time. We went to the right side. We weren't in like the front because I couldn't be asked queuing all day for that, but we got to pretty much the barrier of the main standing area on the right side. So we got in once again for cast, and once again they're all right. Cast in it, they weren't bad. Then Ashcroft, once again, stole the show. Well, he didn't steal the show, but he very nearly stole the show with Bittersweet Symphony, but it just didn't have the same passion as Wembley, which is going to be something I keep saying here. Then again, half-hour wait, and then Get Back came on. I was like, oh, here we go, they're coming on to Get Back, and then they cut it off, and Born Slippery, is it, came on. I know it's from Train Spotting, but I don't like the song, I'm sorry. Anyway, once that racket finished, on came Oasis. Once again, this is not a Joe fucking in the bushes. On they came. And yeah, it was interesting standing. I thought I would enjoy standing at Oasis more than I would sitting, but I actually think I enjoyed sitting more. And I've said to a few people who've been going to subsequent nights after Cardiff and London, I suppose, that, you know, they've been sitting and they've said they wish they were standing. I've always said it's fine, honestly. Even in the seated area, you'll stand for the whole gig and it'll just be the same. Even if you're up in the gods, I think you'd still have a brilliant time. And I actually enjoyed seating at both Cardiff and London more than I did standing at Edinburgh. Not that I don't mind being in a rowdy crowd. I don't mind it when it's a band like Oasis. I expect it. But I don't know. It was a weird one because I was expecting, like, Scottish crowds are renowned. They're always brilliant, but Edinburgh was a weird one. I mean, from the like, this was night 3, so I looked at the videos night 1 and night 2 of the Poznan, and it just looked completely not half-arsed, but it was nowhere near the passion of Wembley and Manchester, and even Cardiff. Although Cardiff was a weird one, the crowd, because I think at Cardiff we were all that shell-shocked that Oasis were on stage. We were just like, kind of thing. But by Edinburgh, there's not really an excuse for it, and I was really, really disappointed in the Edinburgh crowd. They still obviously went for it, and it was still a great crowd, but compared to Wembley, yeah, it wasn't the same league as Wembley or Cardiff, and it definitely wasn't the League of Manchester either, and Dublin subsequently has also blown Edinburgh out the water. So yeah, great songs, great set as usual. That was Edinburgh really, and it felt weird at the end of that gig because that was it. That was it now, finished. I may never see Oasis again. Who knows? Will they tour next year, as people keep suggesting? I don't think they will, personally, tour next year. They might tour again in the future, but I don't think it'll be that soon. So that was it. If I had to rank them, if you haven't picked up by now, Wembley, number 1, Cardiff, number 2, although Cardiff is the most special one and the one I'm most pleased to have been at, and Murrayfield, Edinburgh, number 3. It wasn't a bad gig by any means, it just wasn't in the same league as those first 2. So yeah, that's it. I think that's all I've got to say, unless I'm probably forgetting something. Oh, the set, yes, like I say, Lila should be in there. I still stand by that. Probably, do you know what I mean, should be replaced with something like Stop Crying Your Heart Out. I think Cast No Shadow should also probably go. Maybe it should be Cast No Shadow replaced with Stop Crying Your Heart Out. And I feel like The Importance of Being Idle should be in there. I don't know where it should be in there. Probably, where should Importance of Being Idle be? You would see, you'd think it'd have to replace a Noel song, but if it replaced a Noel song, it'd probably have to be Talk Tonight. And I did say Talk Tonight in the Cardiff video, but now it's after the tour, I'm like, I don't know if that would work. I really enjoyed Talk Tonight by the end of the tour. Columbia as well, I think, should be in there. So they're the big 4 songs that are missing that I think should be in there. So that's it. If you're going to see Oasis overseas, in America or South America, or you're going to Wembley at the end of September, I'm sure there'll be great gigs. There'll be all 5 nights at Wembley have looked incredible, especially night 4. But I'm sure night 6 and night 7 will be equally incredible. Just hope it doesn't rain. I think South America are the ones now I'm most looking forward to seeing, especially the River Plate in Argentina, just based on previous Oasis gigs there. I think this will just be something else. So that's it. Let me know in the comments. Have you been to any of the Oasis gigs? What did you think? What would you change in the set? All that sort of stuff. Anyway, that's all I've got to say for now. I've rambled on enough here. What was this been? Probably about half an hour. I do apologise. I just keep talking, don't I know. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Like I said, follow my Instagram, gig blog down below, Tales from the Middle of Nowhere. Follow my personal account as well if you want. And for now, I will say goodbye and I will see you on a future video. Ta-da!